Page 121. A warrior sits around the fire with his friends. They spend hours criticizing each other, but they end the night sleeping in the same tent, having forgotten all the insults that were bandied about. Occasionally, a new member joins the group. Because he does not yet share a common history, he shows only his good qualities, and some see in him a master. But the warrior of light never compares him with his old companions in battle. He makes the stranger welcome, but he will not trust him until he knows his defects too. A warrior of light does not go into battle without knowing the limitations of his ally. Page 122. The warrior knows an old saying, "If regrets could kill," and he knows that regrets can kill. They slowly eat away at the soul of someone who has done something wrong, and they lead eventually to self-destruction. The warrior does not want to die like that. When he acts perversely or maliciously, because he is a man of many faults, he is never too ashamed to ask forgiveness. If possible, he does his best to repair the wrong he has done. If the injured party is dead, then he does some good, turns to a stranger and offers up the task to the soul that he wounded. A warrior of light has no regrets, because regrets can kill. He humbles himself and undoes the wrong he has done. Page 123. All warriors of light have heard their mother say, "My son wasn't thinking straight when he did that. Deep down, he's a very good person." Although he respects his mother, he knows that this is not true. He does not waste his time blaming himself for his rash actions, nor does he spend his life forgiving himself for all the wrong he has done. Doing that would never set him back on the right path. He uses common sense to judge not the intentions of an action, but its consequences. He takes responsibility for everything he does, even if he has to pay a high price for his mistake. As the old Arabic proverb says, God judges a tree by its fruits and not by its roots. Page 124. Before making any important decision, declaring a war, moving with his companions to another plane, choosing a field in which to sow seed, the warrior asks himself, how will this affect the 5th generation of my descendants? A warrior knows that everything a person does has enduring consequences, and he needs to understand what kind of world he is leaving behind for that 5th generation. Page 125. It's just a storm in a teacup, someone says to the warrior of light, but he never exaggerates his difficulties and always tries to remain calm. And he never judges someone else's suffering. A small detail, which does not affect him in the least, could serve to ignite the storm brewing in his brother's soul. The warrior respects the suffering of others and does not try to compare it with his own. The cup of suffering is not the same size for everyone. Page 126. The most important quality of the spiritual path is courage, said Gandhi. The world seems threatening and dangerous to cowards. They seek the false security of a life with no major challenges and arm themselves to the teeth in order to defend what they think they possess. Cowards end up making the bars of their own prison. The warrior of light projects his thoughts beyond the horizon. He knows that if he does not do anything for the world, no one else will. So he fights the good fight, and he helps others, even though he does not quite understand why. Page 127. The warrior of light pays close attention to attacks that the soul of the world transmitted to Chico Xavier. When you have managed to overcome grave problems in a relationship, do not spend time remembering the difficult times. Concentrate on the joy of having passed yet another of life's tests. When you emerge from a long period of medical treatment, do not brood on the suffering you endured. Think instead of God's blessing that allowed you to be cured. Carry in your memory for the rest of your life the good things that came out of those difficulties. They will serve as a proof of your abilities and will give you confidence when you are faced by other obstacles. Page 128. The warrior of light concentrates on the small miracles of daily life. He is capable of seeing what is beautiful because he carries beauty within himself. Again, he is capable of seeing what is beautiful because he carries beauty within himself. For the world is a mirror and gives back to each man the reflection of his own face. The warrior knows his faults and limitations, but he does all he can to maintain his good humor in moments of crisis. The world is, after all, doing its best to help him, even though everything around him seems to be saying the opposite. Page 129. There is such a thing as emotional rubbish. It is produced in the factories of the mind. It consists of pain that has long since passed and is no longer useful. It consists of precautions that were important in the past but serve no purpose in the present. The warrior has memories too, but he learns how to separate the useful from the unnecessary. He disposes of his emotional rubbish. A companion says, "But that's part of my history. Why should I jettison feelings that marked my very existence?" The warrior smiles, but he does not try to feel things that he no longer feels. He is changing and he wants his feelings to keep pace with him. Page 130. When the master sees that the warrior is depressed, he says, "You are not what you seem to be in these moments of sadness. You are better than that. Many have left for reasons we will never understand, but you are still here. Why did God carry off all of those amazing people and leave you? By now, millions of people will have given up. They don't get angry. They don't weep. They don't do anything. They merely wait for time to pass. They have lost the ability to react. You, however, are sad. That proves that your soul is still alive.